How the heck are you guys? Tell me something good. How are we feeling? You feeling good today?
Good.
Very good.
Very good. This is awesome. This is Friday. I believe this is our 5th week in quarantine. I don't know. I refer to everything as today and yesterday. I don't even know what day it is. So it's. I believe it's a Friday. Someone told me it was a Friday. So great to have you all here. Great to see you dancing. We're gonna have another action-packed call. First of all, thank you, Valerie King, for introducing me to our next speaker today, who I met a few months back, and I got a chance to be in a few of his sessions, and this guy is absolutely amazing. And with that, for those that don't know me, I'm a big John Maxwell fan. I think John Maxwell is one of the smartest people in our world, and one of the best leadership authors I've ever seen. And we're very, very fortunate to have this speaker who is not only a real estate professional, but he's also a John Maxwell certified coach. David, Patterson, great to see you, buddy. Great to have you here.
Good afternoon from day 39 in Atlanta.
Yeah, hey, I heard Georgia is opening back up. How you guys feeling about that down there?
I have to give you the clean version because there's a dirtier version going around in Atlanta that basically said, Mama Keisha said, stay home. So I'm staying home.
There you go. There you go.
And one of the advantages of staying home is I get to share with you guys. So yeah, it's good in my world right now.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, great to have you here today. Being a John Maxwell coach and trainer, I know that you're currently doing a book club for a bunch of our people. And I believe that's the topic you're talking on today, correct? Intentional living?
I am. And of course, there's a lot of people. First of all, thanks for having me, number one. Number two, for you and a lot of other people that are on, the Maxwell world is an ocean, and I can't boil an ocean for you guys today. It would be totally impossible. So my goal is to kind of focus on intentional living. There's a little kettle pot on the stove. I'm gonna put some water in there. I'm gonna heat it up, pour it out for you, see what comes out.
Awesome.
But I'm pretty sure that you'll get 2 or 3 great nuggets from, I guess, the next 40, 45 minutes that we have a conversation.
Awesome. Yep. And if people have questions as you go, or any questions on your concept, throw them into the chat box. And then I'll manage the chat box for you. And if I have some questions as we go, just to keep the conversation moving, I might jump in every now and then and ask you a few things.
Yeah, please do. I'm going to go ahead and grab my my share here and get us ready to go.
Now, again, for you guys, this concept intentional living is a book that John Maxwell wrote a few years ago, which is very key right now. It's all about being intentional in the world that we're in and what's going on. So back to you, David.
Awesome. Wonderful. Intentional living, choosing a life that matters for people who dare to live a life of significance. So real quick, one of the things that we talk about in the Maxwell world is the difference between a successful life and a significant life. A successful life is one where you succeed at your goals. A significant life is where you help others achieve their goals. And that is a passion of mine. I think it's one of the reasons why I wanted to join the John Maxwell team, because it really spoke to me about wanting to pour into others and helping them be successful. And I'm thankful for people like Valerie King in your region that thought enough of me to give me the opportunity to help them and her team be successful. So as much as I enjoy the energy and the music, I feel like I wanted to party right now. We also have to understand that there are things happening around us, and we've got to keep perspective of what's going on. Change is coming. We know that from the standpoint of the environment. And I think most of the conversations that we've been having has been around environment, protecting our health, protecting the things that we do, protecting how we go and meet with clients, helping them protect themselves in terms of being in the business. Yet I haven't heard a lot of conversation about what we have to change and the things that are going to happen to us that's going to change us. And so I figured one of the best ways to talk about intentional living is about us being intentional about how this change is going to impact us. I'm sure that most of you all have heard the story about the frog in the warm water, and that if you try to put a frog in hot water, it'll jump right out. But if you put the water in the right temperature and you start turning that temperature up, by the time it starts boiling, it's too late for the frog to realize it's time to get out. It is important for us now to start having conversations with ourselves about the things that need to change so that we do not find ourselves in this situation. There's a lot of talk about the mechanics of real estate. I'm going to leave that to others, okay? You've had some great speakers on here about the mechanics of real estate. I know you guys, I think you had Monica Reynolds yesterday.
Yeah.
My guy, Gene Rivers, that's my dude. He was on during these calls. Whatever, just do and do it 3 times.
Yeah.
For me, the lane that I want to run in is mindset and motivation. That's the lane I want to move in for you guys today. So let's define intentional living before we even move forward. The deliberate decision to use your everyday life to bring about positive change in the lives of others. That life includes you, your own life, the person that's in the mirror. This season, the last 39 days, should have been a time where you all are reflecting on where you've been and where you are now. And getting an understanding of, okay, change is going to happen. This thing that anybody that tells you, I can't wait to get back to normal, normal's gone. There's going to be new normals. My coaching clients are already talking about it. Michael, one of the things my agents are doing now is they've got a little showing survival kit. They have gloves for their clients. They've got wipes for their clients. They've got shoe covers for their clients.
Booties,
masks,
their
clients along with themselves. The mask, they've got it all. They're thinking about their clients as well as themselves.
Right.
The
I love his definition of intentional living.
Yeah.
You can be successful without being intentional, because there's a difference between the two.
Oh, absolutely. There are accidental success stories all the time.
Yep.
It's called YouTube. It's called I'm going to post something and it went viral and now I'm a success. But the problem is they don't know what to do now because they never really had any attention about it. They were just throwing something up there and now I'm a celebrity. And as quickly as they came, they're gone.
Right. They're 15 minutes of fame, so to speak, right?
Absolutely.
Because they weren't intentional, they don't know how to repeat it.
Absolutely. So KW family, understand it is not about achieving the goal. We should set goals. Goals are good. You should have numbers. You should track numbers. You should do all those things. But I promise you, if you do not have yourself straight, it is going to be extremely difficult for you to hit your goals. It's not about achieving the goal. It's about who you have to become in order to achieve that goal.
Awesome.
Okay. So what I want to do today is kind of help you with some practical growth strategies to help you achieve the goals that you want to achieve. Readers are leaders. Leaders read. This is the Bible on personal growth, the 15 invaluable laws of growth. I'm actually doing this online. We'll talk about it a little bit later because I want to make sure I give you guys some value while I'm here as well. We're doing an online series around the 15 valuable laws of growth. We've done the first 2 laws already. We want to do at least 1 law a week, hopefully 2. But I'm bringing some of the best and brightest John Maxwell coaches to come with me to walk through this book. Here are the 15 laws. This is the ocean. I got a pot that I'm working with. Okay, so there's 2 laws I want to focus on today. One obviously is intentionality, which is law number 1. The other law is the law of consistency. Consistency keeps you growing. I find that one of the biggest challenges with real estate professionals is consistency.
Yeah. No one does the same thing the same way every day, that's for sure.
Correct. And when we can get into the term that I would like you all to write down is finding your pandemic rhythm. Finding your pandemic rhythm. I have to be honest, it took me probably about 24 to 26 days to figure out what the rhythm was that I was going to carry on for the next 45 days. So I'm pretty much committed, Michael. The month of May, I'm going to say sheltered in place. I'm going to create content. I'm going to outline my first book. I'm going to start purging things outside of me. The reason why I'm listing these things for you all is that you all need to define what success looks like for the next 45 days.
And I think Monica Reynolds gave us some great tips on that yesterday. I hope you guys reflected on that last night a little bit of the different ideas that you could do to accomplish things in both your business life and your personal life. So yeah, I mean, what are you going to look like coming out the other side of this thing, right?
Absolutely. It would be, I was talking to a coaching client this morning actually, and she said, in a weird way, this time it has been a gift because it's given me an opportunity to reset, to really focus on where it is that I want to be. And one of the things that she's been focused on is awareness. Being aware of where you are, where you've been, where you want to go, and the environment around you. The better awareness, the better your choices. As you make better choices, you see better results. Awesome. Michael, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Tell me a choice that you feel like was great, and tell me a choice that you might have done something differently.
Well, I think in the realms of business, joining Keller Williams was a great freaking choice.
Okay.
You know, changed my life, changed my world, changed my family, without a doubt. And what choice could I have made better? I've got lots of those. Where do we start? My wife's on this too, so she might throw a few of those choices into the chat box. David.
Go ahead and tap her in.
All right, send those thoughts privately, please. That's all I'm asking. Send them privately.
Yeah. So our choices need to be in alignment to where it is that we want to go. So this is one of the key words that I want to use today in intentionality is alignment. Being in alignment with where it is that you want to go. And so this conversation actually got sparked between Valerie and I, putting together a conversation around what I like to call the 7 pillars of life. This is 6 pies on the board right now. However, with my coaching clients, I talk about the 7 pillars. This should look somewhat familiar because this is similar to the different circles in the one thing, right? Spirituality, your relationships, your physical health, your business, your finances, recreation, environment. Okay.
Now, keep in mind, on a call a few weeks ago, Valerie brought up the pillars. So for those of you that were on that call and there were lots of questions about what she was talking about, that's what David is sharing right now.
Here it is right here. So my challenge to Valerie was, let's get intentional about what you want to accomplish in each one of these areas. Where do I want to be spiritually in 45 days from now? Who do I need to be listening to? What should I be reading to help me be in more alignment with my source, God, family, and business? I'm not going to be shy about that. I'm in partnership with the ultimate resource. So it's really important for me to be in alignment with where it is that I want to be spiritually for me to be able to help Michael Brand and his family of KW agents. Awesome. The relationships, we're going to talk a little deeper about how we can build better relationships, both personally and professionally. I need to put down the donuts, Michael. These Krispy Kreme donuts, they're going out of style over here, and I got to put them down. So something from a health standpoint to help me be better. And just going around the circle and having one particular goal over the next 30 to 45 days to help you come out on the other side better than the way that you came in.
Just gives you, it's kind of like that guy who talks about making his bed every day. He makes his bed when he wakes up, knowing that he's starting the day accomplishing something. So being purposeful on accomplishing something in these categories will allow you to recognize that you had success, and we're intentional during this time. So you can come out of the back end feeling good about yourself.
Absolutely. Family, KW family, look, accountability is everything. I'm not going to sell to you, okay? I'm here to bring value, all right? If you're not going to have a coach, you need to have a mentor or a peer, a mastermind group, someone, some group, some entity that's holding you accountable during this. I don't know about you guys, but most of my coaching clients will tell you they have trouble being accountable to themselves. And one of the ways to be intentional about getting where it is that you want to get is through having an accountability. So I really want to challenge you guys to really think about, is there someone in your life that if you don't have a coach or somebody that's not holding you accountable, is there somebody that that have a like-mindedness and like values, like-minded and like valued, that you guys can come together and hold each other accountable to where it is that you want to go?
And that accountability can look different for different people. For instance, I want to put my phone down today. From 5 o'clock to bedtime tonight, I want to put my phone down. So my accountability partner for that is my 12-year-old daughter. I'm going to give her my phone and say, if I ask for the phone, I've got to run 2 miles with you tomorrow. Now, for those of you that know me, I hate running. Outside of running up and down the stairs to get to the fridge, that's my definition of running. So again, accountability can look different based on what that goal is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things that I really believe on a very high level, and Diana Kokoska used to talk about this all the time when we would go to coaching skills camp, is the importance of energy. And so the term that we use in the John Maxwell world is frequency. Basically one and the same thing. Making sure that we operate on the right frequency to attract what it is that we want to attract. Okay. So if there are some things in your life that you feel like are in your space or they constantly show up in your space, it's probably really important for you to check to see whether or not you're dialed into that frequency. If you've listened to the radio, I listen to a lot of XM satellite radio. There's a frequency that's connected between the satellite and the receiver as I change channels. Mm-hmm. You can easily change channels just as much as I change channels to the radio. But you have to be aware of what frequency you're operating on and the changes that you need to make. What you focus on expands. So making those changes that you need to focus on the right frequency to attract the people, places, and things that you want to attract to help you get where it is that you want to be.
And in every coaching company, they have different ways of terming this. And Tony Robbins, they say, you know, where focus goes, energy flows, right? So motion creates all motion. So I've got the ability to experience a lot of these different people, and I find they're all sharing the same message. They just have their different way of saying it.
Absolutely.
And by the way, you mentioned the name before, Diana Kokoska. Just so you guys know, I got confirmation that Diana will be joining us for a call. So look for that date in the next couple of days. I confirmed with Diana last night. So that's
awesome. I'm glad I got in front of her, because coming behind her would be a major issue.
I don't want to be the person that goes after Diana.
Yep,
make sure we put Diana on a Friday, so people have the weekend to forget about that before the next guest. That's a great point, David. Thank you.
Absolutely. So we shift from awareness to consistency. The hallmark of excellence, the test of greatness, is consistency. Coach Jim Tressel, former coach of Ohio State, now I believe he's the president at Youngstown State in Ohio. This says everything about being excellent, being great. Consistency is something that is overrated. You all should know this book. This book was written in 2004. 16 years. We're still in the book.
Yep.
Consistently in the book because it consistently works.
And I just want to put a quick note out. As you guys are listening to David with his great stuff, pay attention to the chat box. I'd love to have you guys share what Maxwell books you've read. So as you're listening to all those great tips, I've had a couple people remind me of some great books on there. So make a point to jump in the chat box and throw in any questions you have for David along the way, or what John Maxwell books have been big for you.
Yeah, absolutely. This book has been consistent over the last 15 years in terms of helping people build their business. And my expectation, Michael, is all my coaching clients read this book at least once a year. If I had my book with me, it looks like my grandmother's Bible. It's got dog ears and notes and dates and people and all kinds of other things that's helped me over the last 15 years to get where it is that I've desired to be. And yet people are not reading this book consistently at least once a year.
And
this
David,
should be part of the rotation.
Did you know there's a Cliff Notes for this book?
I did not.
There's a Cliff Notes. If you're someone that says, I can't get through it, I lose track, there's a Cliff Notes. If you go to KW Connect, there's a course called the 24 Topics. So just put in the 24.
Okay.
24 topics of the MREA is a Cliff Notes. It will jump you through the book one topic at a time, and have you highlight the 24 golden rules of the MREA.
If you don't learn anything else through the entire book, there's 2 segments that you must know. Pages 133 to 152, that is building the database and lead generating through it.
Yep.
The other one is pages 71 to 97, mindset, the big why, and the 9 ways a millionaire real estate agent thinks.
Nice.
That's a great way to get yourself jump started. Now, what you might not know, Michael, I'll exchange one for one. This is one of the pictures inside of the MREA.
Yeah, I've met almost every person in that picture. I love looking at that picture every now and then.
So to the right in the front at that time was Holly she's Prescott now. I'm trying to remember what Holly was before.
I just blinked on it too.
I just blinked myself. Yep. I'll come back to it. Holly Perry is right there in front of me. All right. But to her right or our left is a lady by the name of Sherry Puffer. Sherry Puffer was my first OP in Columbia, South Carolina. The reason why I bring this up is because the last time that I was in some sort of crisis was 2009. I was on the AOC in Columbia, South Carolina, and Sherry gave all of us a book. It was entitled The 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class. And this is a class that I'm teaching right now down in Upper Marlboro, Maryland at the KW Market Center right there, where each Friday we're doing 90 minutes around mental toughness secrets. This is something that should be helping you guys build a fortified foundation for your mindset as you go through this challenging time. And every time we meet, we start with this quote, mental toughness secret number 2, world-class wealth begins with world-class thinking. How you think matters. And there's a difference between being told what to think and how to think. So it's really important for you to get books like this and begin to develop your mindset around critical thinking, strategic thinking, understanding that your subconscious has been programmed since day one, so that we've got to unlearn, learn, and relearn things for us to be better to move to the next level. Okay. But the main mental toughness secrets I want to talk about was the power of conversation. All right. We've been talking so much about these care calls, right? I know you guys have been talking about them.
I've heard about them a little bit. We've talked about them once or twice.
Yep. So I want to dig into it a little bit to see if we can hit a couple of pieces of gold that might not have been discussed. Okay. One of the primary differences between the masses and the world-class performers is how much attention they pay to developing their conversational skills. My first question to you all is are you doing anything intentional to develop your conversational skills, or are you just picking up the phone? Picking up the phone is good. Greatness is developing your conversational skill set. Champions master the art of interpersonal communication. They know their success is directly proportional to the number of advocates they have in their professional network of contacts. If you want to do 52 transactions in a year, get 52 core advocates. Build the relationship. Valerie and I were having a conversation about, I was up there, I think it might have been the first time you and I met, Michael, was when I came up and did the one thing. Yeah. And I was telling Valerie about bring your advocates, if nothing else, to the one thing and pour into them, develop into them.
And she had a class that you taught with fellow business owners she networks with and people in her sphere. And it was pretty much a class she created for everyone she cares about.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
Was awesome.
Absolutely. And so we need to be thinking about what things can we do to pour into others during this season and what we're going to do when we come out of it.
Hey, Dave, for those people that are newer to Keller Williams or may not have plugged in the Red Book, how would you classify or describe core advocate? How would you describe that? What is a core advocate?
That's a great question. A core advocate is someone that knows me, that likes me, that trusts me, that would do business with me and would have no problem referring 10 of their friends, family, and coworkers to me on a consistent basis.
I know this gal in one of our market centers. One of her advocates is a secretary at the school. Mm-hmm. She gets about 10 leads a year from the secretary, because before people think about moving out of the area, especially, they call the school to contact what they need to know. Yep. Or if they're looking to move in, they call the school. So this person is, hey, if you're moving in or moving out, you have to talk to so-and-so.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My sister is the director of customer care for the Knoxville Utility Board in Tennessee. They are always moving people different places depending upon the expansion of utilities. Yep. It's good to know people that are involved in relocation. So we need to be strategically thinking about who are the individuals that can give us 4 deals a year, not just 1 deal a year. It is important that everybody gives us a referral. Don't get me wrong, but being able to get 4 and 6 from one of our core advocates is a very wonderful thing.
You can invest your money and time into the relationship much deeper for someone that brings you 4 deals a year than just someone that gives you a referral every 4 or 5 years.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Much better use your dollar.
So one of the things I wanted to do, since I'm more coaching than I am selling, I was like, okay, let me talk to some of my fellow coaching clients and find out where other agents should be thinking, right? I didn't want to just come from the coaching perspective. I wanted to come from an agent perspective as well. So Karen Tabler is the CEO of Catalyst Home Team here in Atlanta. She, in 2019, out of 550 agents, was number 10. Let y'all let that sink in for a second. All right. Her business is all about core advocates. It's all about referral. As leaders work tirelessly to meet the many challenging moments that lay ahead, they must do so with emotional intelligence, requiring fierce orientation to purpose, self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, and compassion. This is how she approached building those relationships with her core advocates. What is the purpose of our relationship? Bigger than just a real estate transaction. Are you aware of how you connect with that person and on what level? Are you regulating the time that you give to them? Because sometimes we give too much time to people, and because of that, we get out of balance. So it's important to have healthy boundaries, to be empathetic, to show that you care more about just the real estate transactions, those client calls, and the compassion that if there's something that her database can help with, she's providing a resource to other people during that period of time. And during this season is where she is going to gain a tremendous amount more of market share, because she's being intentional about building the relationship, not the real estate transaction.
And I've heard Jason Abrams say a lot this last week. Mind share, which is what we're building right now during this time by having the caring calls, mind share leads to market share, which Absolutely. I think is a very, very positive message to put out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So here's a book.
Another good book.
If anybody knows anything about me, I'm a book guy. I'm going to give you 3 to 5 books. Valerie's still on the first book I gave her. She got 9 more books to go. The book is Emotional Intelligence 2.0 by Travis Bradberry. It's a great book for you to begin to develop your emotional intelligence. Hear me well. You all are in the relationship business. You all are in the people business. The mechanics is the buyer consultation. It's the listing presentation. It's how you market. But if you don't have people that's willing to trust you, if they don't like you, if they don't want to do business with you, it doesn't matter. So it's really important for you to develop your emotional intelligence skill set just as much as the mechanics of real estate. Okay.
Awesome.
One of the ways that you can get to know individuals, this is something that's kind of gone away a little bit because of the KPA and career visioning, is the DISC. A lot of people saw the DISC as a hiring tool. And what happens is that they've gotten confused that this tool is actually a communication tool.
Yep. Especially with buyers and sellers. You know, if you understand the concepts of the DISC, we can do a DISC session on one of our 2 o'clock calls here, guys, to kind of bring it back to the forefront. This will help you convert more buyers and sellers.
Absolutely. And this is a class that I teach. There's different levels, different stretches, Michael. So if, awesome. Somewhere in the future, virtually, we want to do something, I'd be more than happy to do that for you guys in the region as well.
Cool, thank you.
So the 4 behavioral styles, no right or wrong styles, 4 behavioral styles: the D, dominance; the I, influencing; the S, stabilizing; the C, cautious. The first thing you should understand about the DISC behavior profile is understanding who you are. This is a time for you to get back to understanding who you are in all of this, right? For me, I kind of lay on the ICS or CIS. So there's always this conflict inside of me, the party, and I don't want to go to jail. And that's going like this all the time, okay? So right now what you have is the I. When I'm done, which is the last thing I have to do today, is right here. I'm on the couch. I've been talking all day. I've been coaching. I've been doing Zoom calls. How many more Zoom calls can we do in the month of April? All I want to do is be on the couch with my favorite beverage and not talk to anybody about anything. All right? Love y'all, but I'm going to be ready to go.
I read an article today on Zoom fatigue.
Yes.
They say Zoom meetings are exponentially more exhausting than regular in-person meetings.
Especially if you have to prepare for them. So I wanted to make sure this is Friday. It's the last one. You guys going to be on. I want to make sure you get at least something out of this, right? Yeah. So understanding, it is important to understand how you communicate to each one of these behavioral styles. For D, I have a coaching client. I text her in bullet points. I don't write out long things. It's, where are you? Where are you going to be? Are you available here? This is what I need. That's the end of the text.
Nice. Bullet points.
As an I, if you think that you're going to shorten a 45-minute conversation to 10 minutes, you're about to offend an I.
Yep.
So you might as well set aside a certain amount of time knowing that these people that like to talk, yet they're inspiring, they're persuasive, and they're definitely enthusiastic. You hear them coming a mile away. These are individuals that are your best core advocates because they will promote for you, okay? So if you have not obtained testimonials from 5 eyes in your world so that you can put them on social media and put them on your web page or send them through a group text, one of the homework assignments that I challenge you with right now is go ask those 5 people for testimonials. They should be sheltered in place anyway. This gives them something to do. Okay?
Awesome.
The S might be having the most challenging time right now. These are the individuals that don't like change. So they might be a bit shook up right now. These are the perfect people to be calling and making sure that they're good. Okay, because a lot of times the S's are the ones that give way more than they take or receive. And so they need individuals to jump out and say, hey, I just called to check on you. I just wanted to spend some time talking to you. That's going to be uncomfortable for them because normally they're focused in the opposite direction. But I promise you, they're going to appreciate it 1000%. The C, I'm an analytical person. I want to know what is the curve doing so that I can set up what my next 2 months look like. That is how C's think. Do I have enough gloves? Do I have enough water? Is Lysol ever going to make a spray again? These are the things that C's think about, right? So if you want to help a C, help them plan what the next 30 to 45 days are going to look like so they can feel better about the things that they have to go through. So this is just a brief summary of being aware of the type of people that you're talking to, the behavioral styles, and being more cognizant and listening to signs of whether or not they lead with their D, with their I, with their S, or with their C.
And I always like sharing the 30-second description of identifying behavior at an elevator. And I'm sure you kind of know this, right, David? You know, the D is the one that keeps hitting the button. thinking that they keep hitting the button, the door will close faster or get here quicker, right?
Yep.
The I is the one that comes up with the uncomfortable conversation in the elevator because they can't stand silence. The S is the one that's holding the door so everyone can get in, and then they get in last. And the C is the one in the back of the elevator looking at the weight limit on the elevator, then trying to calculate everyone's weight to make sure we're not over the limit. You know, the quick 30 seconds way to identify behavior in an elevator.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So really, I want you guys to spend some time in this. Michael, I don't know if the Market Center still have the Abelson reports or not.
We don't have access to it like we used to. We're not really paying for that anymore. So
Wonderful.
This is great.
So at the end, what I'm going to do is give everybody my contact information. This is my piece of value, one of my pieces of value to you. I really want to encourage you all to do your DISC assessment. If you have not done a DISC assessment within the last 3 years, I want you to go to this link. I want you to use this respondent link. Now, when you get there, there's going to be 2 types of assessments: a sales assessment or a management assessment, depending upon where you are in the game, okay? Choose one, don't do both, okay? Do one of those assessments. It will come directly to me, and I will forward it on to you so that you can look at your assessment.
Hey, are you okay if Emily puts your contact info in the chat box right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, Emily, if you can take care of that for him?
Yeah. Emily, so 404-640-9846.
She'll pull it from your email. We got it.
The email. Okay, great. Got it. Okay, cool. And then from there, the other thing I was going to say is I highly recommend that you do this with your spouse or significant other. I think this would be a great exercise for you two to get to know each other a little bit better. Okay. I think you will find some of the reasons for you all disconnecting because you think you know that person, but in actuality, you really don't.
You will save a ton of money in marriage therapy if you and your spouse understand each other's
There is a song called Keep Her to Keep Her. Do the disc. Have a conversation. Okay? Yeah. What you would do is let me know if your spouse or significant other is going to do it. Just send me an email so that when I get the report, I know who to send it to, okay? But I definitely want to offer that to both of to you and your spouse or significant other to begin to learn each other, okay? Your vision.
And just to clarify, there's a question in the chat. So do you mean each of us do the DISC assessment? So yeah, he'll be giving you that information. So you should go to that website, do the DISC assessment, and then he will forward you a copy of it.
Yep, absolutely. Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside only dreams, who looks inside awakens. You have to awaken a new person now because we're getting ready to go into a new world. So instead of paying attention to all of the white noise that's out there and all of the feuding perspectives, it's important for you right now to look inside, to learn about yourself, the DISC, the law of awareness, understanding that you've got to be consistent about the pillars that are in your life and what you want to do to be a better person. Understanding it's going to require intentionality from that new person that's being awakened for you to be the best that you can be in this new world post-COVID-19. Okay. Any questions? Anything you want to run by me, Michael? This is a good stopping point.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate that. All great stuff. I'm so happy you talked about the DISC again because we've gotten away from it, and I think it's the KPA is a better way to develop the relationship between the two people, but the DISC is a much better understanding of behavior.
Yeah.
And I think that some of our sales training is lacking by not making the DISC part of that. So I love the fact that you shared about that today.
Yeah, wonderful.
Well, let me ask you, what's your favorite Maxwell book?
15 Valuable Laws is number one. Put that book aside. I think my most favorite book after that book, wow, I got to look at my shelf here real quick. There's it would be between the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, which is a giveaway book, and then Leadership Gold.
Nice.
It is the precursor for developing the leader within you.
Awesome.
It's basically 26 nuggets of gold around leadership. That book didn't become really popular, but there's a lot of depth to it that I would definitely recommend people grab that book.
Awesome. Awesome. Does anyone have any questions for David on anything he talked about today or anything in general? Again, from a real estate perspective, David is great. David, I'm seeing comments in the chat box like, you're awesome. Love you, dude. I love your vibe. You know, a lot of compliments. I'm sure you weren't watching the whole chat box the entire time. Throughout the entire thing, you're getting lots and lots of compliments. So
cool.
We really appreciate you having you here and you spending some time with us today.
Yeah, actually. So let me give you a couple other things. GuidingHeroes.com. If you go to that, that will take you to our podcast. You've got time to listen to podcasts when you're walking, when you're just relaxing right now, where you want to be by yourself. We finished season 1. It's out there in its entirety. We were working on season 2, but everything that went down with COVID-19 wasn't able to get into the studio to finish things. So as soon as we get that done, we'll roll that out. So definitely give us a listen there. And we also, in our Facebook group, we've got a community of people together. A community is really important right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I would really encourage you guys. We're not there to sell anything. We're not trying to get something from you. This is a community of like-minded, like-value people that are working together to be better after all of this is over.
Awesome. And Luis Sanchez, I know you put it up earlier. Can you put your email address in there again? Guys, if you got something from David Patterson today, he's doing an intentional living book club, I believe, correct? On Thursdays?
Yep, we're doing it on Thursdays at 11:30. So you really haven't missed much. We did the introduction just to kind of set the tone of when we're going to meet and what the schedule's going to be. And then we did some of the first chapter. And if Emily would, in the chat box, I hope I get this right. If you go to dp3masterminds, plural.com, dp3masterminds.com, you can get the first 3 chapters of Intentional Living complimentary.
Awesome. That is
Just
so
visit
cool.
the link, the PDF will pop up.
It does pop up. Emily, if I could post that, I just pulled that up, so I will post that myself. Unless Emily beats me to it, which she often tries to do, but I won today. Yes. So,
30 seconds ago.
What's that, Em?
I already beat you like 30 seconds ago. Nice try.
David, you're absolutely fantastic. Folks, you know, I'm going to go back to what you said in the beginning because it actually plays into our video at the end. Success versus intentional. Our video is your YouTube stars. The people that were very purposeful on how they create funny YouTube videos. And they recently did one. These are the people that did Christmas pajamas. If you guys have seen that video, this is a follow-up to them. So, David, one of the ways I wrap up the call at the end is a 2 to 3 minute funny video to get us laughing, get our emotional state up.
Yeah.
Before I play it, I want to remind you guys next week we've got Cody Gibson, Mike Brody, and Mike McCann are on our guest list next week. I would love everyone on this call to make sure you invite 2 people, whether it's a recruit, someone in your downline, someone else in your office, someone that needs some energy. So those are three, not as amazing as our guests this week, but they're pretty good guests next week.
David Voorhees too on Friday.
David Voorhees on Friday, talk about the consumer experience. So please make sure you invite at least 2 people to join us on next week's call. Emily, let's play the video. It's about 3 minutes long. And then if anyone has any final thoughts or questions, we'll hit that right after the video. Roll the video.
Okay, guys, I'm headed to the store. Text me if you think of anything that you need, okay? Anybody see my keys? Oh, there they are.
Done that
Okay,
this last couple
bye.
weeks.
Guys, thanks for hearing my proposal, and I look forward to hearing from you. All right, see ya.
Joe, what's up, man? Hey, good to see you. How's your family? It's been like a couple of months, right? It's Carrie's birthday? Tell her I said happy birthday, dude.
Oh, taco night, guys. It's gonna be good. Can't wait to try these. Cracked pepper, are you kidding me?
Hey, this came for you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, with all this sitting on my butt, I think I'm getting hemorrhoids.
What?
I think I'm getting hemorrhoids.
You're on steroids?
No, fissures in my bottom.
You're going fishing tomorrow?
Hemorrhoids!
Look, honey, I'm on TikTok now.
You're stepping on something while you're sticking your butt out and you're skiing forward. Like ski jumping.
Like that?
Ski jumping. There you go, yeah.
Sweet NBA basketball. Players playing Xbox. Darts reruns. A horse tournament. Sign me up.
I heard the roll spinning. That was definitely more than 4 squares. Stop it. You can wipe yourself with a sock for all I care. No more than 4. Hey guys, pizza's here. No. Back up. Leave it in the street. Thanks.
I hope they remembered my red pepper flakes this time. Jeez. Okay. Pizza!
Man, Susan and Karen are walking. They're like 4 feet apart. They don't live together. They get spread out. I'm not being nosy. This is a police matter. Call 911.
Why are you putting on makeup?
The mail is gonna be here soon. Duh.
I have not eaten in 10 minutes. I am starving.
Yeah, well, we made it to 10 a.m. Yeah, cheers.
Fissures in my butt!
Sorry.
Fissures in my bottom!
Sorry, I was laughing. Sorry, I can't laugh.
Hemorrhoids!
Sorry, it's really sorry. Good.
Hemorrhoids! Just up.
Alrighty, so guys, happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Please do something for yourself this week to recharge your batteries and reconnect with your family, because I know we haven't had enough family time this week. David, you're awesome. You're amazing. Appreciate you as
Y'all be
always.
safe. God bless you all so much. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you guys. We'll see you next week. Again, I want everyone inviting 2 people to next week's calls. We'll see you on Monday.
Good weekend.
Thank you.
You too.
You too.
Take care. Thank you.